Hi. Welcome. How's everyone doing? Crips, welcome to the stream. How are you? Oh, my goodness. I spent all of today recovering from how I was feeling, just to have in the last hour or so start feeling worse again. So I'm a little bit under the weather, but we'll be alright. I can't hear properly out of my left ear, but it's alright. I don't need to hear out of my left ear, so take that. Science? Question mark. Anyway, we're here to play some City Skylines. We've got our big city, our big boy city, at least big by my standards and by vanilla gameplay standards, because it only goes up to 80,000, so you know, 100,000, not bad. I mean, when with the unlocking of new things, I think it goes up to 80,000 is what I mean. Thank you for the prayers, thank you, Crips, I appreciate it. I'm sure my ear will just work, it'll be great. Yeah, we're gonna be playing some City Skylines, building the city up. Gotta remember what it even looks like. I've been playing a complete, no, I was gonna say a similar game. It's not really that similar. A completely different game on my Xbox during the day. So now I've got to change my mind to get into this game again, which will be fun. With mods, you can go up to the hard game limit of somewhere around 1 million. It varies. Yep. Which we don't have. We're not going that far. We're just gonna keep going and see what happens. Basically, we don't have any crazy mods other than the. That reminds me, actually, I need to put that in the. I forgot to put that in the tags modded. It's technically modded. We don't have any crazy mods, other than move it and stuff like that. Just basic road manipulation stuff, really. Played a decent bit of Far Cry 5. It's definitely interesting. That's not the most recent one, is it? That's the one before. Or the one, well, technically the one before that, because it was New Dawn, which I've played through, which was alright. It was fun enough. Far Cry 5 though. I haven't played that one. I do want to play through some of the Far Cry games. Problem is, I really want to play Far Cry 1, because that's got some mega nostalgia, and it's actually pretty damn good, especially at the time. And then Far Cry 2 was the one that everyone loved and I hated with a passion, that I don't want to play. And then I'm pretty sure I never really played Far Cry 3 because Far Cry 2 just was like, no, I'm done. Far Cry 3 I think was also supposed to be very good, but I've never really played it. I think I played some of it and then still was like, meh. To be honest, I only ever played 4 before this. Right, I see. Far Cry 3, from what I've heard, is peak Far Cry. That's what I've heard as well. I think I've only played a very small amount of it, and honestly, it was such a long time ago, I can't remember if I liked it or not. I have a feeling I liked some of it, but not all of it. But yeah, I want to try the newer Far Cries, because I'm pretty sure they're on Game Pass as well. I want to try the first Far Cry, but I don't really care about 2. I probably should play 3. 4, I don't even know what 4 is, really. It feels like the one that just everyone forgot about. And then 5 was some people liked it, some people didn't. Then New Dawn is on the same map as 5, so it's recycling a lot of stuff, but it's a different story. It's not bad, but I've already played it. And then 6 apparently is classic Ubisoft open world, stupid, glitchy, and not that great, but somehow still pretty fun. So I kind of want to play that as well. But you know, that's that's all in the future. For now, it's not on the short list, I wouldn't say. So we'll see. Far Cry 4 from my experience was nice. Okay, I don't remember. I don't even remember the setting or anything. Like, I remember vaguely all the rest of them, but I don't remember 4 at all. Far Cry 5 was at least... Far Cry 5 at least is on Game Pass. Yeah, that might be the one I saw. New Dawn story and such makes way more sense after playing 5, so decent suggestion there. Yeah, no, it's not bad. It gets very, because I played it a while ago. I got it for review, and I played through it, and I liked it at the time. I hadn't played really any Far Cry since like Far Cry 2, so I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. And then some people are like, oh yeah, but it's just like Far Cry 5 again. And I'm like, well, I haven't played Far Cry 5, so I can't attest to that. So I think especially if you just come off of Far Cry 5, Far Cry New Dawn is like a bit average. Anyway, that's not what we're playing today. So let's crack on with it, shall we? Let's get this bad boy loading, because it's going to take like 20 minutes anyway. See what happens. Is it going to go backwards? There it is. There it is, classic. Strongly suggest 5 since you played Far Cry New Dawn. Okay, alright. Yeah, I saw gameplay of it at the time when it released as well, and I was like, yeah, it looks pretty slick actually. Kind of wouldn't mind playing it, but just never got around to it. And now it's like, there's a few of these things that like, oh, I'd love to play, but then the second that I think that, I'm like, probably need to save it for the stream. Like, there are some games, it's a very difficult pick and choose when it comes to new games coming out. For like if you do streaming, because it's like there was a game I played recently that I've talked about numerous times. No one really cared, but man, I loved the game. And that's exactly why I played it off stream, because no one really cared and I knew no one would. But the game was amazing. But if I played it on stream, there would be one person here and like they'd just be there because they like me streaming. They wouldn't care about the game either. So there's a few games like that that'll come up that like will require a longer time to play usually, or they're in like just a more of a niche that majority of people don't really care so much about. So they're the ones that I play off stream, which you know, leaves me with an interesting mix of what I play off stream and on stream. That and like multiplayer like Halo MCC and Halo Infinite, like without the campaign stuff. Play that off stream a bit. New Dawn is literally a direct sequel to 5, so of course it's similar. Yeah. Yeah, I think people were just like Suki because it was on like the exact same map, but but it was like it was like after a nuclear apocalypse, I think. So it was like everything was, you know, looked a bit different, but it was like the same map. So everyone's like, "Oh, it's so lazy." Oh no, I thought it kind of made sense. But I can understand, like, if you just come off that same map going into that same map again, it'd be like, come on, it'd be a bit annoying. Yeah, that's because of the events of 5. Yeah. Yeah, I imagine that would be the case. Alright, what are we doing? We've just got to fill in this last part here, and then we can get a new tile. How's that sound? Do we have new things? Or new spaces that need filling in? Like that are filling in, is what I'm trying to say. Do I want anything there? Is this gonna get in the way? This might actually need to be the offices here, just to create a buffer between the residential and the industrial. And then this will go here. Excuse me. Oh, that's right. We put in the helicopter rides. Helicopter transport. I don't know if anyone's using it yet. They weren't really last time, but we'll see. New Dawn would have made more sense as just a paid DLC for 5 though. Yeah, I think so. Like, there's enough game in there for it to be a standalone game, I think. Well, actually, even then, there's a bit of repetition and stuff, which is fairly indicative of that kind of game anyway, especially from Ubisoft. But yeah, it probably would have made more sense as a DLC. Then again, this is the same series with a game set in Unga Bunga times. Yeah, I haven't played that. That was a weird one because, like, that was one that I was actually kind of interested in because it's a kind of a cool setting to be playing in general. But then when it came out, everyone said they hated it. They said it was the worst game ever. And then, or at least anyone I knew, any reviews or anything I'd seen had said that they hated it. So I was like, yeah, well, I guess we got better things to play anyway. I heard Primal is decent. I don't know, I haven't played it though. Maybe it was just like a select group of people. I don't know. I don't remember reading the actual review scores. I certainly remember hearing people say it was trash, but that's not always the case. Oh, people sad. People sad everywhere. So, we were on the hunt to do some of these special things, right? How do we unlock some of these? So these are like specialization things. Oh, we can get a zoo if we construct a fishing pier? Man, I want a zoo. I've literally been building a zoo in the game that I was talking about that I'm playing off stream. Which one's fishing pier under? Traffic Park? Considering how much traffic we've got, this is a surefire. Oh, let's put it there. Winner. Damn team's taking L's again. Making everyone sad. It's so rude. We must have just unlocked that. I was looking for the fishing pier, wasn't I? I think it's under this one. Fishing pier, here we go. Can we fit this anywhere? Suggest going for an oil industry if you can. Also fishing piers and parks tab. Yeah, we got it. We did it. An oil industry. We'll put it right in the poo stain again, as is tradition. Just like that. Also, what has happened here? What? Why is it like that? Weird. Alright, we've got a fishing pier, so theoretically... Wait, was it this one? No. I thought it was one of these. Oh, I need another thing. Right, I have to do like a bunch of things. A riding stable. Where's a riding stable? Fishing tours. This is all... tourism, leisure. Riding stable, there we go. That thing is too big to fit anywhere in here. Oh, especially since it goes that way. Why do buildings have to go that way? Whose idea was that? I don't care how badly this is going to ruin things. I want my riding stable because I want my zoo. It's going to be fine. Knock those houses down. We don't need them anymore. Boom, riding stable. We did it. Just raise the pumps with move it. That should fix it. I don't know. I feel like it's a feature now. Also, I don't actually remember how to use. I don't know. It's like page up and down or something. I don't really know. All right, can we get a zoo yet? We can. How big is it? Smaller than I thought, but still too big. Okay, well, that'll go in the new section that we build. What else can we get in? Can we get this thing? 2 instances of harbour? No, we can't. Abandoned buildings? Look, we're getting there. Fill 5 instances of cemetery. Woof. 2 airports. Okay, we don't have that yet. Most of these are yeah, most of these are gonna be, you'd have to have another city running. So that's a lot. Fill 7. Oh my goodness. No, that's not gonna happen. Yeah, it looks like a bunch of these just aren't gonna happen. Page up raises things, page down lowers things. Holding shift, I think, allows for small movements. Okay. I'll try and remember that for next time. And everyone's just left again. Man, I'm done with that college. With that uni. They can just do whatever the hell they want. I just ain't interested anymore. Garbage. These are all like just different. Can I just drop it down for like 5 seconds and then raise it back up? Can we just be like 3? Oops. This is gonna kill us for just a second. Which one was it? Posh Ball. Maintained for 20 weeks! No, you didn't tell me that part. That ain't happening, son. No, no, no. We are not destroying our city for one single posh mall. No, no, no. That's not happening. I know we have $1.3 million in the bank, but that's not going to run a city that's running at that low of a tax threshold. Let's fill this in. I need some more offices somewhere. Move mod settings is a list of the keybinds. Yeah, but that requires reading. They pay me to lead, not to read. I think we might actually have to put in... Could we just offices in here? Why not? Oh yeah, there we go. We got some space there. What? This is gonna look so ridiculous. Perfect. Get rid of that one there. That would be too ridiculous. Chuck something there. And yeah. There, just a bunch of offices around there. What could go wrong? This. Oh, that's right. We also have this part, which I'm gonna zone now, and then that's basically all that we have left for that. So we'll see. Alright, well, let's keep going through these, see if there's any that are feasible. Weekly education expenses. What if we just spent a whole bunch on... Well, that's the console or okay. Oh! We've almost got that one. We need more offices. That one's not gonna happen. We need a fire helicopter depot. We can do that. Just raise the education bar. Yeah, but I guarantee then it's going to be like, now maintain it for 6 years. Also, that's fiddling. And it'll be fine. We'll get there eventually. Just seeing if any of these are like real straightforward. Sea Fortress? Oh, that's right, a level 5 park. Did we ever... We got so close on that one, but then we had to, like, get more tourists? Oh my goodness. We've got all the entertainment, but we need almost 10 times the amount of people. Which just isn't gonna happen. Tower Park is great, but it's not 10,000 people great. We might sort of be, not completely, but, you know, almost at the cap of what we can... Almost at the cap of what we can sort of do with buildings. Yeah, another level 5 park. I'm wondering... So we're gonna need to buy a new tile in a second. I do need to do some... There's a bunch of stuff we haven't done in here. This is all coastal stuff. I'm wondering if we buy one of these tiles. The problem is it'll be kind of a waste because we're not getting much land. But it would allow us to build some of the coastal things. You could sprawl out more. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm gonna do. That is a given. Let's just see what the zones are at. Yeah, I think this is full. I think this is well enough full. 25 tiles is a solid suggestion, to be honest. Alright, sorry, I'll be back in a minute. I gotta go. I'm back for now. We'll see how long that lasts. Alright. Oh, I can't actually buy tiles down here, so I have to go this way. 60 hydration, thank you. Oh, so sexy. Alright, well, I guess I'm just gonna go here and work the other way. So we can get all this coastal stuff in.
Shut up, Wesley.
Yes, shut up. Hey Wes, what's going on? Hey, I came in just in time for the sexy hydration. Look, perfect timing. No, shut up. Okay, what are we doing here? Let's build some of these big roads, big boy roads, as they call them in the biz. There. Alright, so we're gonna build. We've got this, and we've got this section over here, which I think I'm gonna do via this way, because this is definitely the most efficient way to do it. Actually, let's move this over a little bit. There we go. Much better. Now that is gonna have to keep going, so I don't want to sort of cut it off there. This is obviously going to connect into there and continue, but I will have to have something that connects those together, but that should be easy enough to deal with. Going well. What we got going on in cities today? Ocean work. Yep. We're working on. Oh, you know what? I should have really factored that in. Well, this is why I didn't have space in all the other areas, because I didn't factor it in. I might have to. Because I've got all these things. You know, I'm gonna put them in. Okay, this isn't too bad. What's that? Beach volleyball? Yeah. Okay, let's get that in later though. Oh, and a skate park. Oh yeah, it's all happening. Count as being connected. I don't know if it will. It's right. We can move it. There you go. That should be fine. Let's put some water in, just so they stop whinging, even though there's no one there yet. Here, very nice. Oh, that's always a blast. Yeah, gotta love a bit of ocean work every now and then. Just a bit of casual ocean man. You know? You know what I'm saying? I might even just give these guys a turbine, just to save myself any extra problems there. I should just sort them out. And then we'll have like the skate park on the other side. Oh yeah, skate park. And beach volleyball. This is going to be the hip happening place. Look at it. The shoreline would work really well for tourism oriented commercial, aka recreating where I live. Well, I mean, it's sort of. I mean, that's sort of along that lines, I guess, but not quite the same. Restaurant here. Okay. Let's get the roads in. It's gonna be here. Okay. We're just gonna do some big old sweeping roads across first, and then we're gonna fill it in later. There. So that's those mid roads. Now we're just gonna do like weird, like angular, what are they called? Cul-de-sacs. It's gonna come up here, and it's just gonna fill this like whole bit here. Boom. And then this is gonna go like this. And it's gonna connect there. And there, but not. No, it's gonna. We'll connect it here, so there's at least some connection. That's basically just creating this area where I live. Was once a massive pier, but got torn down and replaced with a zip lining place. Oh, I'm out of water. I don't know. Can you build a zip line in this game? I don't know. So my wife watched one of these videos a little while ago because my daughter saw my face on the TV when she was scrolling through YouTube. When we were scrolling through YouTube, she was like, "Oh, I want to watch that," sort of thing. So it ended up being one of my City Skylines videos, and my wife basically had an aneurysm after seeing my road placement, which I can't understand why. Frankly, it's kind of rude. This looks completely reasonable to me. It's not much different to the roads where I live, so you know, what's wrong with that? And a boardwalk, can't forget a boardwalk aside from the beaches. That's about all that's on the shorefront. On the shorefront. I mean, I'd put a boardwalk in if I could. Look at all these skaters. I mean, look at all these skaters. I know what a skate park looks like. Literally looked at a volleyball court, thought it was a skate park. One might say that I'm down with the kids. Alright, let's just get this across here. Do kids still skate? Is that a thing that young'uns do that the youth does? The youth of today? Or are they all on their fidget spinners? Sound like the oldest man ever. Back in my day, didn't have any of these fidget spinners. Crime. Why is there crime here? Get out of here. Alright, well, let's get in some residential. I think we'll just stick, like, for this part here, for these two parts here, we'll stick with just, like, suburban sprawl. I don't think we need to go high density. F to the wife and her faith in Isaac with roads. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, she didn't have any faith in my ability to place roads anyway. So it's not like anything has drastically changed. Oh. Funny, I bought a zoo. But just in case there was any, like, you know, faith in that era. Era? I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. Okay, fine, we'll do a weird, wonky road. There's no faith. There's no faith there. It's all gone. Oh, stop hitting all the extra roads. Come on. Is that connected? No. Yes? Yes. Okay, good. The roads are too boxed in to be American suburbs. I mean, wouldn't... Actually, I don't know about American suburbs, but the American cities and stuff, probably more like this, right? Just grids everywhere. I mean, even that's like only partial gridding, but... I'm gonna need to keep power to here, annoyingly. Kind of ruin this for a bit, but not much we can do about it. Let's do some offices around the zoo, because that's where I would put offices if I was on the town planning committee, I guess. Also, if I put this in here, that should basically give me that thing that I was working towards. Oh my goodness, look how much it's taken out. I hate having to do these. Okay, it's actually going to be way better if I just put a small one in from here, so that it's not taking out all my zoning. Annoying, but we'll figure it out. City centres are full hard grids, suburbs are free-formed messes inside the grids. So like this then. If there was grids on the outsides, I guess. Just waiting for people moving, I suppose. We need to get some of these things. We need a business park, a courthouse, possible. Yeah, so this is like a bunch of these ones, which is the ones, some of the ones we're working towards. Oh, also, I just completely neglected to put in any, like, infrastructure here, so I should probably do that. Not there. Put in that. What's this? Oh yeah, we need that. Can we fit that somewhere? We need it for a building, but it's one of those vertical suckers. The worst. Okay, there, that'll do. There, that'll be fine. Okay, we're gonna need a cemetery because people die. Right next to the hospital as well. Because you don't want to be transporting them across the city if you can just like put them in a wheelbarrow and dump them across the road. You know what I'm saying? We're all about convenience here. Is that the HQ? Yeah. Oh, look at that. Fits in there. Another thing is you downloaded that utility pole I sent you a while back. You would not have to worry about the massive pylons obstructing builds. I mean, I did download whatever you sent me, but no, I haven't seen it. Okay, so we don't want high schools or universities, I think. Let's have a public library. Because we don't have any of those really yet. And we should put in a metro. Although I might wait until we've done this part as well, so that it can connect properly. Check the power section, there should be a Steam icon. Click it and it'll filter to just Steam downloaded assets. What? There should be a Steam icon. Power section should be Steam.
It's in the Imperial City. Perhaps someday you may be able to visit him there. He's done wonderful things for this guild.
I was told it was in the power tab, not in the Imperial City. Man, I can't see it. I'm probably just blind. It's like, it's not really that big of a deal. It's annoying, but it's not that bad. I feel like we might get one. We'll just leave that. That's fine. Welcome, Adam. How are ya? We have a spin the wheel. Alright, let's just get straight into that. What is wrong with the wheel? Like, it just doesn't work anymore. Like, every single time I go to use it, I have to press it like 3 or 4 times, and then I have to like reload the damn thing. I don't understand why it doesn't work properly. Wheel time, spin the wheel? Yeah, it's worked now after like the 3rd attempt. Motivate me. Okay, that's something I can do. Alright, is everyone ready to be motivated? Let me just tab across. We are going to be looking into the ocean for a second. But this is fine because we're going to change screens anyway. Well, this is a fairly good one for the time. What's the word? I don't know. My brain hurts. All right, here we go. You ready? Rule the city. No longer be afraid. Live. Find a more interesting life. Live dangerously. Lead a rebellion, you rebel scum. Run for the borders. Destroy corruption. Become anonymous and make people smile.
Through the manipulate to log and time. Just to do it.
Is it gonna... It's it's really bugged out. There we go, we got it, finally. It was just heaps bugged out for a second there. Just do it, yeah. Rebellion and destroy corruption, good idea. Time to go to Washington. Yeah, we're all about taking control of the city, beginning a rebellion, crossing the border, and living dangerously. It was quite an interesting set of motivation. I hope you're all motivated now to begin a revolution. By the looks of those goals, we're going to begin a revolution apparently. Although, for legal reasons, if anyone does decide to actually start a revolution based off of that, it was a randomly generated script that has nothing to do with me. Wash my hands. Zipping up mouth for Adam. Thank you. That's the second time you've been told to shut up, and you were already talking this time, so obviously the first time didn't work. Remember Steve? I'm gonna remember Steve. Everyone take a moment to remember Steve. Remember the people that died to make this rebellion a reality. We will seize the means of production. We will seize control. We will seize power. Some of you may die. I will be the one to make it happen. Wait. I don't think that's... is that how it goes? Thank you for the salutes there. Yeah, we're starting apparently you're starting a revolution in Steve's name. This is not what I anticipated when I started this stream. But you know, sometimes things go differently than you expected. And sometimes you end up the head figure of a global revolution. It's just how life happens sometimes. Who am I to question that? Okay, let's get rid of these ones. Easy peasy. The Steve Rebellion, a better resolution, yeah. So now we're gonna have the Marvin takeover, the Steve Rebellion. I think Wilhelm was either gonna join the takeover or probably the revolution, one of the two. So that's gonna be interesting. I'm 100% on an NSA watch list after this stream. Yeah, you guys, but I hope you're all using VPNs. Because look, you're all gonna be blacklisted after this. But like I said, for legal reasons, I had nothing to do with it. Which was the one? Oh, here we go. Official park. Oh, that's very official. Let's make an official park. This is the official park of the rebellion. Oh, and what's this? Helicopter park. Where can we fit that? I mean, technically we can fit it in here somewhere. Let's just put that, it's fine. We should probably like put a bunch of tourism around here and then call this like a tourism zone. Oh my goodness, that thing is enormous. Let's do that. Oh, you're kidding me. This is exactly why we have the mover mod. Okay, try again. No. No with success. Up here. Come on, we need to make this fit. It's just not gonna go, is it? You know what? Just get rid of that entirely and that. This is gonna ruin everything for a second. So everyone just cool your jets. It's gonna be fine. We're gonna put in mega thing. I don't even know what it is. Oh, it's the Modern Art Museum. Alright, cool. Wait, what? Oh yeah, no. I'm a dangus. There, and that connects. Good, so now we don't need power lines. See, this is a hot tip for all you would-be city planners out there. Instead of putting in a whole bunch of ugly power plants, just put in this ginormous, ugly, angular modern art museum to bridge the gap. Easy. Easy, easy, easy. This is obviously Rebellion Park. Yeah, exactly. We need to... This is where we will host our meetings. We obviously call it Rebellion Park so that the rebellion can find it easily. I'm sure that won't cause any problems with the authorities finding it easily either. I'm pretty sure they're just not gonna know. I think it's gonna be fine. Oh, we don't lose those.
He never really trusted anyone else in the group, and before he secured the treasure in that cave, he had a special enchantment placed upon it.
Did he then try to start a rebellion? Because he didn't trust the government. Do you want Shadow of War? Apparently I have a key for GOG.com. I mean, it is on the list of things we are going to play eventually, so I won't say no. That's the second one, right? The first one's Shadow of Mordor, isn't it? It's been a while since I played them, but I do remember quite enjoying them. They can get a little bit samey and repetitive relatively quickly, but I do remember the orc stabbing being a good fun time. If you had the commercial demand, I would say draw up a district and set tourism industry specialization, but no commercial demand. Yeah, we've got so many abandoned buildings. It's finally working as it's supposed to, though, I think, because we were constantly having all these abandoned buildings, but then still having commercial demand, so we'd build new commercial districts, and then no one would use them anyway, because they didn't have the demand for them. So at least I guess it's kind of working now. Let's just put that up there. Can we just... Oh, it's not gonna like that, is it, if I do that? Okay, we'll knock that guy's house down. He doesn't need it anyway. He was thinking about moving. He told me. Alright, easy. This is a bit of a downgrade, it's fine. You are part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor? Rebel scum. The rebellion is strong. We will overthrow the Empire. Which Empire, I'm not sure, if I'm quite honest. I didn't actually come up with this. This isn't my rebellion. I'm just apparently the figurehead somehow. So, you know what? Do what you gotta do. City Park? We could do another park, couldn't we? What's this? Park maintenance, right, okay. And that's just that stuff. Oh yeah, we should put in like actual, some of these parks and plazas and stuff. So that we have some land value and such. These, maybe? And then like a, is there one that'll fit in here? That'll do. That'll be fine. Alright, cool. I sent the key via Discord. Awesome, thanks so much. I'll get it like you can put it like into the launcher, right, without downloading it and installing it. I'll do that. I'm going to flood or tsunami the Skyrim marketplace with silver necklaces. Yeah, we did a similar thing recently. I don't know if it was silver necklaces. It might have been like gold rings or something, but just all of them. Wow, they really want their offices, don't they? I guess we're gonna zone all of this then. It's not really what I was planning on doing, but we have some commercial demand coming in, but I'm hoping that will just fix itself. All the empires. Well, gotta scoot, Isaac. Catch you later. No worries, Wes. It was nice to see you for the few moments that you were able to make it. Yeah, it's always a pleasure, so hopefully we'll catch you again soon, and enjoy doing the thing. So yeah. There's a website link I included, it'll add it to your GOG account. Okay, cool. Easy. Easy peasy. Let's get that there. There's gonna be a bunch of suburban sprawl, and then there's just gonna be those offices. Have we unlocked anything new? Oh, we should set a tourism specialization. If I even know how to do that, which I don't. That? Leisure? Tourism. So I think we have to do a normal one, right? Which we needed to do anyway. That dude has no power. I don't know why he settled up there, but alright. Fix that in a moment. We should also make it go across here. And then we make it tourism? Yeah. Underhill Square. Bloody Underhills. Alright, recycling, we'll have pets. Parks and Rec makes sense. High ticket prices? No educational boost, we don't want that. Prefer parks. Free Wi-Fi. And a fishing license. There. Perfect. I gave Shadow of Mordor to Quack last month, but I have both games, so I didn't need them. Yeah, okay, fair enough. I don't think they're like games that are essential to play both anyway. And if I need, like if I want to do them in sequence, which maybe I might, I can, you know, I got a pirate ship out the back, so I can figure that out. But it's always nice to have a Steam or a GOG version, that's for sure. Clay doesn't play many games. Yeah, fair enough. Let's put in the subway, the metro, and we won't build onto it yet because we want to get this done first. I think I'm going to leave this until I do this tile, and then I'm going to do that all as one. For now, I'm just going to do this.
Unfortunately, Captain Dion was also in the Two Sisters Lodge. Oh, he arrested Theranis and hauled him off to the dungeons.
Ooh. Spooky. Not the dungeons. Who would keep people in a dungeon? Looks down barrel of the camera. Not me. That's crazy talk. sips non-suspicious drink. Alright, things are flowing alright. How's the pier going? Oh, some people fishing off into the poo. Nice. I mean, guys, you can literally see directly in front of you a sewage pipe that is spewing out the waste of your neighbors. And you're just sitting there going, oh, nice time for a bit of bottom up there, am I right? Oh, bit of salmon, oh, nice, nice, nice. Chuck that on the bar, you know, cook it up. A little bit of, what, tetanus? Would you get tetanus? Probably not. What would you get from drinking poo water? I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. What could go wrong? It is saying we need commercial, but I'm just gonna keep ignoring it. It has been somewhat resolving itself, so maybe everything will be fine. The most modern museum. It's the most modern. Now we do want to... Oh, you know what? Maybe we should just use this whole spot here. Screw it, let's do it. We're going to space. We were always planning on it. Bam. There it is. There's no power yet, but that's fine. It will have its own its own reactor. So what, I'll drop down? Yeah, sure. Chol chol. Chol chol. We're gonna have some chol chol. I'm gonna head off and play some more Skyrim. No worries, thanks for dropping in. Enjoy your Skyrim. I'm going to enjoy going to space, I guess. Okay, let's have something here. This can be like offices, I guess. All the people that are working on the rockets. So how do we go to space? How do we actually do it? Oh, I don't want to do it actually. Okay, so we need... Well, there's no water, so... Let's fix that real quick. Stay hydrated. Alright, let's have another look. So, change rocket color? Yeah, that's fine. That color's fine. The rocket can be launched after the launch preparations are complete. Rocket construction. So we have to build a rocket somehow. I don't know how you do that. But this is fine. We'll figure it out somehow, I guess. We'll just get a bunch of baling twine and a few 44-gallon drums. She'll be right. Look, if Phineas and Ferb did it, I'm sure I can do it. Alright, well, continue the suburban sprawl then. They want more commercial. Why do they want this? Oh, I may as well just fill in this whole thing. let it fix itself. I'm sure this won't cause any problems whatsoever.
Hello there.
Fine. Dr. Rorschach, welcome. How are ya? Welcome to the stream. Just building the city. We just built a space launch site and the two towers. So I'm sure there will be some fellowship departing at some point. Or something. I don't know. Oh god. I feel like ass. Is it just me, or have kebab rolls gotten bigger and bigger with time? They've got to be, if they have, which I couldn't say because I don't really eat kebabs that much. They must be the only thing that has, because everything else has gotten smaller and smaller. So that would be really bucking the trend of capitalism and commercialism and I don't know, whatever isms there is, I guess, that are relevant. And they really want commercial. What is our abandoned building situation looking like now? There's one of these that'll tell me. I don't know which one it is. I'm sure there's like a way to actually find out, but... Oh, 14 people have come back. Okay, whatever. I don't care about that place. Oh, there we go. Oh wow, we're down to 23. Okay, 25. It is working then. By just not... by just not listening to this demand, it is slowly getting the, like... Because there was 60 something before. So it turns out if you just don't listen to the needs of your people, everything will fix itself. Oh, we should do some of these up here, actually. Dining cafe. Oh. I'll have to be... Shoreline required? Well, that's what I'm trying to put on the shoreline. Bruh. Hello? Oh, wait, hold on. Oh. It just comes up as, like, the same. Will that work there? Yeah, I think it will. Nice. The one I bought today was the length of my forearm and thicker than it. Oh, sorry, and thicker than it. 2 to 3 meals easy. Maybe you're just becoming an old beggar, an old person. And you're like, oh, back in my day. No, they were definitely less. No. Like I said, they're possibly the only thing that are actually getting larger. Everything else is shrinking. It's garbage there, so we should probably be right with that. They need educators. We'll see. Is there a fire somewhere? Or are they just running drills? Oh, they're getting water, and then I guess they're going to wherever's on fire. Oh. Best of luck to you. So I think we're sort of starting to approach the end of the capability of what we can do here. Oh wait, oh no, well I think it's still 9 squares, isn't it? Which I think is probably, I can speak probably, I think it's probably like a good way to cap this series though. Like if we fill the vanilla 9 squares, I think that might be a nice place to cap it, because as it is, it's like we've pretty much run out of extra things to do other than like continue to scroll, which is fine, but it sort of gets a little bit samey after a little while. If I can't at least work towards like new stuff. I'm not complaining, but yes, I am getting old. Feel ya. I feel ya. Back in my day. Such an old man now. Should I just buy this other tile? Ah, screw it. Let's just buy it now. It's not like we can't afford it. That way we can finish these city connections here. I might actually just drag this way a little bit. So that's now connected that way. And this can go. Probably don't build it too much on the sand because we all know the parable of the man who built his house on the sand. Come on. Okay, that will continue that way eventually, but I will have this as a connecting road through here. Because that's like the main bit there, so. That dot. I'm quite impressed by how far you got with no tsunamis halted your progress. Yeah, I know, right? Like when my city's not getting destroyed like every couple streams, it's amazing how far I can get. The like I've said before, the natural disasters. No more room. Empty to another facility. I don't know. Can we put like a bunch of crematoriums in or something? Fix it. There you go. Just put them next door. Chuck them in the wheelbarrow. Should be right. Yeah, as soon as we didn't have to deal with stuff just spontaneously combusting all the time, we were able to make some pretty decent progress. Like, it's fine for people that want to play with that on, but I feel like we got everything out of it that you would get out of it, if that makes sense. And after that, it was just an annoyance. It wasn't even necessarily a hindrance as such. Like, it obviously was, but more than that, it was just an annoyance. Because we could eventually get back to where we were, but it just would have taken 1,000 clicks that I just had no desire to do. Turn them on after your last save though, right? Oh yeah. When we're finished the city, well, we won't necessarily need to turn them on because I will just be able to call them down. I'm pretty sure I can still do it even with them turned off. Though I can't remember how. Maybe I can't. Is it here? Yeah, I still can. So yeah, when everything's like, as far as we're gonna go, when we get like the full 9 tiles, we'll just call down the Wrath of Log upon everything. We'll just get it all just absolutely blasted into oblivion. There's a bunch of people sick. I don't know, is that because of lack of healthcare? Or because they live next to something that's making them sick? Healthcare availability is really good. Average health is also really good, so there must be something nearby. that's making them sick? Probably the airport. It's probably it's probably too loud. And the hotel. If only I cared. It doesn't seem like we're really getting any more population, even though we're spamming in all these extra buildings here. It seems like we keep going into negative. I'm not sure why that is. Check pollution? It's probably a good idea. Which one's pollution? Oh my goodness, I didn't realize the pollution spread that far in that. I mean, they're all offices, so I think they're fine, right? I don't think they suffer from that. Yeah, no, it's fine, because they're all in here, so they shouldn't be dealing with that. Unless something's hit the water towers, but I don't think it has. No, I think it's just noise pollution that's making them literally sick, because I think that does happen if they're right next to... Wait, why are these guys sick at the space shuttle launch site though? Oh, we're going to plus again. I feel like we're just sort of teetering. I think we just go up and then it goes down again. The game... the game doesn't hard limit you at 100, does it? I know there is a hard limit, Crips was saying, but I'm pretty sure it's not at 100, right? It's gotta be higher than that. Nick, welcome, how are ya? If you want more population, you should check the land value and try to raise it to the max. Oh, that's probably a good idea. What is our land value at? I think a lot of it should be okay, but it's gonna be great. Look at the noise pollution there. This is what's causing it. This is 100% what's causing it. I thought it was. The noise pollution is pretty rife. If only we cared about our people. Property value. Man, I never look at these things. Levels. Happiness. I swear I've like gone over it or something. Oh, it is the dollar sign. I was like, oh, it won't be the dollar sign. It is. I mean, that's pretty good. Most of it's like high. Even the parts that aren't really that high are still sort of sitting in the middle. Like, it's not bad. Pollution affects land value and commercial offices. Care about that? All that will happen is that they will not level much though. Yeah, so I'd rather have that, like the offices dealing with it than residential, because then they'll like die or something. I don't know how it works. And the stuff in the river is probably also not that good. I don't know what you're talking about. No one's drinking it. Well, except the dude that was fishing off of this pier before. Isn't this a lovely scene? They fish off and it's like a game. They try and hook into the end of the sewage pipe. The first one that can catch like a brown fish gets like an extra 100 points, and then the other person has to pay for the fuel to get there. It's a weird game, I'm not gonna lie. But, you know, it's a weird city. We've had weirder things. We've had drunk Frogger across a busy highway, so, you know, people probably died during that. Looks decent. Add some more small parks in the blue spots. Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Just go... oh, it doesn't... Oh, well, I suppose it shows up auto, doesn't it? Wait. Oh, yeah, there we go. Which one's the smallest one? That's too big. That one. Because that's showing up as high. Yeah, I don't know. I think, without, like, knocking down stuff, I think this is pretty good. I think it's pretty much fine. It doesn't have to be perfect. We'll just let him go. Let him deal with it. We have people that literally live amongst train tracks and they have full levels on their buildings, so it can't be that bad. Just fix that. All right. It affects the land value. The poo. I mean, yeah, but like, this is all still like even the stuff on the actual riverfront here is basically top level. Wait, what's happening here? Oh, building is everything. Oh, that's fine. Like, it's only just a little bit below, so I'm not too fussed about it, to be fair. I mean, I don't actually know how you deal with sewage in other ways anyway. I think you can get like purification plants or whatever that like take out some of the nastiness, but then we wouldn't have a giant poonami. And what is one of our cities if it doesn't have a giant poonami? Might have to just wait for that to build in. Oh, Neek, do you know how to get the... Oh, it's just building it. Okay, I was gonna say, do you know how to get this to work? But I guess it just builds. Most of this stuff is fairly new to me because I haven't really gotten past probably like 20 or 30k for a fair while. Hope you get well soon, bud. Yeah, I know. It's annoying more than anything. I appreciate it though. We'll just have to keep resting up as best we can. It's not gonna be easy though, because my wife goes away to Queensland soon. I gotta look after her daughter, so yeah. It'll be difficult doing that while feeling sick. Need some time to upgrade, make sure you have lots of connections to it. Well, we should probably start building in this side. I was sort of waiting for this. I'm not in any hurry. Like, we will... Can you, like... Does that, like, connect to there? You can, like, build on top of it? Oh, well, I probably just can because of the movement mod or something. We'll finish this bit, and then we'll start sprawling out through here, and it will... I'm sure it will just sort itself out. Will we need... I was gonna say, will we need another, like, industry dump zone area? But I don't think we should, because of where these ones are. That should be enough to do all the 9 squares, I hope. If not, well, I don't really care. They'll just suffer. Not my problem. We should do, you know what we should do? We should do some fishing specialization. Should we get floating garbage? Wait, does this clean out the poo? We probably don't need like 10 of those, but let's just see what happens. Trash and pollution in order. Reduces water pollution. Huh. I mean, they probably shouldn't all be in the middle, but I don't know how it works, if it's like in a radius or something. Anyway, we got distracted. We were going to do this. Fishing harbour, fish farm. Okay, let's do this. Fishing harbour. Oh, hold on. It was almost in the right spot there. Oh, you know what? We can just move it. Just put it there. There we go. Easy. Fixed. Oh. Disconnect, please. There we go. Bit of water up here, you know. What does that mean? Oh, fishing route incomplete. Yeah, I've got to put the actual route into it. I probably have to zone it as well, don't I? They clean up the poop, but you need a lot of them. See it cleaning, they do it by opening the pollution. Oh, sorry, you can see the cleaning they do by opening the pollution tank. Well, you really do need a lot of them. I mean, they haven't been there for that long. It's cleaned up a little bit. Look, it's my attempt at doing something. It's not much, but it's something. I'll deal with anything else later. Okay, so go. Will these guys already just have boats? Oh wait, hold on. Oh. Oh no, this is fine actually. The pollution hasn't reached here yet. So let's do a little loop around here. Back in. Easy. Fish. Let's see how that works. Is it because the... maybe this is doing something more than I thought. Let's, just to make sure, let's do... wait, what was it under? I've literally already forgotten. I don't think it was health, was it? It was... Wait, hold on, what was that? Yoga garden? Gotta get me one of those. Yoga, son. Anyway, I've literally completely forgotten. Is it in here? There we go. Oh, I gotta sneeze real bad. Ah, god damn it. Oh, I hope your eardrums are still fine. My apologies. So if we do this, will that do a better job? I mean, we could actually just fix it at the source and like have proper waste treatment, but I'd rather just dump it in the river and then clean it up like this. Just you know, band-aid solutions. Until there's so many band-aids that we've made ourselves a whole new city out of band-aids. Okay, we do have some more demands. Let's fill this in. Should be able to get rid of these. Hopefully that will fill itself in. Yeah, that should be right. That'll be without power for a second, but they'll live. Officers. Where's he? Let's make that there. Okay. That's almost finished this section. And then we can move over to here. Be interesting to see what happens when I start adding roads to the end of this, because this was like, this part here was my first ever tile. This bit, like the edge is there, that was my first ever tile. So now I'll be finally connecting it to the top, like the top will be finally getting sorted out or something, I guess. Man, the flow of this river makes no sense. I'm not gonna lie. I know I've said this before, but there's like a spring or something that just pops up here and just pushes water in each direction. But then if you go like half the way up the river here, it's fine there, it's fine there. But then how far up is it? Suddenly here it's now pushing the other way. I'm pretty sure that's definitely how rivers work. They just go two separate directions from the center point. Oh, look at him go. Oh, he literally did go, didn't he? Oh, We can get rid of this. Oh, what did I do? I pressed the button. Nope. Okay, we're good. Alright, let's start building over here now. Get some actual roads in this section. Like that. I don't know if this is gonna... There's just like a cliff there. Because I don't know if I can like... Oh no, it's saying it's occupied. I don't know how it works. That one. Bendy boy. Bendy boy. Should we do some actual high density over here? Maybe we should. Oh, I'm getting this angle wrong, aren't I? There? Sorry, I just need to check this message. Alright, I have to go and deal with something. Hopefully I'll be able to come back, so just hang tight. I should be back hopefully in a minute. We'll see. Back for now. My daughter is being very difficult. My wife can't deal with it anymore, so unfortunately if she decides to keep being difficult, I might have to cut the stream short, annoyingly. So hopefully she decides that because it's way past her bedtime and she's extremely tired that she will finally actually go to sleep. But I don't know. This is going to be a great place to live. That there. Probably that there, and then this will go. Yeah, I guess. Sure. What time is it for you when you start streaming again? 8 PM? It's 9 PM. It's It's 9 p.m. Alright, let's do a connection over here. And then let's just like connect these all up this way. Just do some funky business through here. There we go. That's probably the most sensible looking road layout we've ever done. And that's saying something. We will have to get some water in here though. Oh, I stopped it just short. Whoops. Okay. How's our water going actually? Perfectly fine. We do need some more sewage treatment. So I'm gonna double down on my my poo river. We really want to get this flow thing, you know? We want to fix the flow of the river because it keeps like changing in all directions. If we just spew out a whole bunch of poo here, it'll still just go whatever direction it wants, let's be honest. But we'll see what happens, I guess. Well, actually we're still waiting on demand, so we may as well just keep this going. Oh, whoops. I changed it. I don't actually want that to be in there like that. So this is going to be another road. Yes, this is confusing. It's fine. Everything is fine. I know what I'm doing. Question mark? No. And we want to have not too many connections there, so let's do that, and then we'll have a connection in the middle, but not on the main road. And then this can go to there. This is gonna be great. It's gonna be fantastic. Just you guys wait. Alright, then here. There. Look, I know what you're thinking. This is looking worse and worse as we go. And to that I have no response. Because you are correct. Yep. Somehow it's gonna be fun. Can we stop snapping so much, please? Alright, now snap again. This, and then that's going to go down there just to completely confuse everyone. And then just like a little connection there. And then this one can come off the bottom of this section. Yep, this is fine. Look at that. Beautiful. Almost done. And then this is just going to be straight up like that. Except here, because we wouldn't want to have the connection, you know, going straight through. That would just be silly. Bouldering site? Oh wait, it finally reached level 5. We still had like 90,000 people that needed to visit it. What happened there? That means we've got some of these new ones though. I don't know which one it was though. One of these required... Well, actually, there was a few that required level 5 park. Is it just lying to me, or... It may just be lying to me. Because I don't have any new stuff. Says it's level 5. Total visitors 10,000. I don't know how that's suddenly shot up. Turns out the park is perfect. Can we put in the bouldering thing? Maybe. Okay. Look, I know you guys are fond of the 1600 towers we put in. But... Actually, no, I won't destroy the tower. I'll destroy that person's tent. And bam! Bouldering. We did it. Maybe that was what it required? Have a level 5. Oh, city park. Is that not a city park? Is that like an what do you call it? A nature reserve, not a city park. This whole time did I not actually build a single city park? Alright, well. I've done goofed. So we're gonna designate this whole section here as a city park. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be the biggest city park we've ever constructed. And I don't want to hear you guys saying, you haven't constructed any city parks, you idiot. Because that will be true. Wait, how do I even do it? Parks? No. Nature reserve. So it's not a nature reserve. Zoo. Oh, is it this one? Amusement park. City park. There we go. Okay, okay. Alright, where do we want this? Yep. Right. Alright. Get some fences in. We need to turn all the snapping off so that we can build the fences where we want to. Because otherwise you cannot build fences. Curvy boy. Beautiful. Back to normal. We are going to need some power. Sure, that'll do it. Maybe not that. Maybe not that drastic. We can probably just connect this to here. Oh, we can't actually. I don't want to have to put that there. You know what? Let's put this in here because we do have demand, and then we'll put in. Oh my goodness! Can you please? Put that in there. And hopefully that will fix it. In the meantime, we're just going to build the park. What's this? Park Plaza? Okay, so I'm assuming we're going to need roads, obviously. This is going to be... It's going to be grids, even in the park. Look at the connections. The connections are weird. They go through the sides of the fences as well. Oh yeah, we need to actually extend the zone. Wait, there's a way to do it, isn't there? This? park area. Wow, I thought this was like a semi-large park area. Turns out it's tiny in the scheme of things. Okay. Alright, plaza. Cafe. Whatever this thing is. Whatever this thing is. Benches. Which way are they facing? The wrong way. There we go. Oh! I didn't realize these come with park benches. Oh. That's handy. Food stall. Just build a little. You know what? It should probably be facing the plaza. That'll probably make more sense. So they can come up out of the plaza and get some food. Oh, there we go. We can rotate. It's a bit awkward, but we can do it. Yeah, it really doesn't want us to get over like 102 population. I thought there was, I thought from what Cripps was telling me that there was a little bit more like limit than that. But it doesn't seem like it. Let's have some cannons just in case somebody tries to invade our plaza. Some flowers, because flowers, I guess. What's this? Park tiles? Okay, interesting. Well, let's have some of these. Some people might call them tables. Alright, let's have a look. Alright, so we have enough for the next level. We need visitors. It's going to take forever anyway, so probably don't want to add too much extra. And probably just let it go. And let's fill up all of this. This is gonna... Oh, I said that this was gonna be high density, didn't I? I still don't really know why... Yeah, it's actually going down again. It looks like we're hard capped at like 102 population. Is it because I'm putting in all low density and it means that people are like, oh, I don't want to live in the city anymore, move out to the suburbs, and it's just like equalizing everything without actually adding more people? That feels like madness. Alright, actually we should put in some stuff in here. We haven't done that yet. Hospital. One of these bad boys. One of these. Medical clinic. We probably don't need that with a hospital right there. Sauna. Oh, no, crematorium. This is a sauna. That's right, we don't need any more of that. Fire! Police. Public library? Yeah. We're finally getting some public libraries in. I did notice you had high density commercial right next to residential. People move because of the noise. Yeah. But we, like... usually that quickly resolves itself. That's like usually like a fairly soft thing where they'll just be like, oh yeah, those ones will move out, but then eventually things will upgrade and stuff and other people will move in anyway. But it seems we're hitting like a hard 102, which just doesn't seem to be going up. Any more of these that I can do? There's like one more. Oh, here we go. A sea fortress. Ooh, very nice. Let's put that over here with the sea-related things. Or not. Wait, it'll fit here somewhere? Oh, there we go. Oh, right, this thing's in the way. Well, this was gonna have to go anyway, so it's going now. Sir? Are you... You know what? More power to him. Just because he doesn't know how boats work doesn't mean he shouldn't be driving a boat. Why is this place flooding? Is it just because I put this stuff in and it's just sort of trying to settle? It shouldn't be flooding though. Yeah, sea fortress. That's cool. Wow, these things, yeah. Nick was right. These things do absolutely bugger all. We've got how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of them. And let's see how much of an impact we've made. We're at the very end. At the very end of the river, we have just made an impact. After putting like all of these in. But that's about it. What am I doing? Oh right, it's up here. It's a massive brain fart. Should we just get rid of that? Alright, did I put in everything I needed? I got a bit distracted. I got police, education. We don't really... I don't think we really need more education. Although, maybe I'll put in... I'll put in an elementary school. Just because we do want them to be at least somewhat educated. Let's put some offices in here, shall we? Is anyone going on that path? This person. They're ignoring everything I have placed here. Guys, there's info booths and cafes and restrooms. Okay, they went to the restroom. And like food trucks, and you're just ignoring all of it. I put in all of this work, and you're just like, see you later. Hey, we're getting there on the launch. Oh, more residential demand. You know what? Let's just see what happens if we put in some high density here. I think that there has to be like a hard cap at like 100. Or like 100, 102. Because as much as I know that there is definitely things that I'm doing wrong, this game is usually fairly forgiving when it comes to that, and will sort of... You can bend around that a bit as long as you just put more in, because eventually it will sort of override it, even if there's still issues. But this is like hard capping me at like 102. So we might actually have to get like a population mod if we're wanting to do these last 3 tiles, because otherwise we're just doing this. The weird thing is though, the residential demand keeps going up and then getting satiated. and then going down again, and then going up. So, like, it's kind of working. Like, it's still working, but this number is staying at 102. We brought a picnic and a portable latrine, bish. Like, what's that? You got a cafe, restaurant, food trucks, restroom? Bruh, I bought my own. Get out of here. That's so disrespectful. Come on. How did my fishing thing go in the end? Is there a... How do we get more of it? Oh, you just have to catch loads of fish. There we go. That could take a while. Ah, well, it's going. It'll be fine. 1 million population is the vanilla limit. So what is going on then? Why am I capping at 102? Because the game has never reacted like that before. Like, I've not really changed my playstyle, and I've always been fine, but for some reason, this time it's just like, it'll go up to 102, but then that's it. Is it a bug, or am I doing something very wrong? Because, like, most of these things are pretty good, like, all the happiness meters, like, these are, you know, 71, 74, but that's not really bad, that's still pretty good. The other ones are up pretty high. Levels... commercials, not bad. Yeah, I mean, all the residential levels are pretty good. Yeah, I mean, all of them are not too bad, actually. Health, 80%, which isn't bad. Let's not look at traffic. Fire safety. It could be better. It could be a lot worse. I know there's a decent amount of noise pollution. But, like, what else are you gonna do when building a mega city? I know you can get, like, sound barriers on some of the highways, but that's not really our main problems. That, like, short of just not building stuff, like a bunch of stuff, or I guess putting every single one of them in, like, its own district, just completely segregated from everything else, which is a bit of a nightmare to do. Yeah, land value is pretty good. Oh, is this? Oh yeah, no, that's okay. We should district this as well. I think it's probably just, let's just put it as part of this one. I can't be bothered creating a new one. There we go. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to look into it. The commercial thing's fixing itself alright as well. Like, everything seems to be okay. Tourism. Look at that, city attractiveness, 90%. Tourists, many. Most of these are on many. Like, all the metrics that I have here. Oh, that reminds me, actually, I need to put in this other metro. Let's put in a metro up here. Let's just knock down that one dude's house instead of 4 people's houses. And we need some way in here. It's a bit on the highway, but it should be alright. Elevated metro station. Never using that. Alright. Connect these. Wait, what? Oh, it's like trying to connect to the road itself? Oh, they're gonna need power. Ugh, why do they need power? What? Why is that not connecting? Okay, we want to have one that goes off here and connects into that. And then I don't know if we'll be able to do that. Okay, get this in. Things are going fine. They're going fine. Other than the random pop cap. Wall there, cowboy. Way too many stations. What do you mean? That's not too many stations. How else would you get around? I mean, the thing is, we don't really have any other means of transport, so if for no other reason than that, I don't think it is too many stations. Because we don't have like buses and taxis and stuff. Well, we've got helicopters at one point, but that's it. We'll have to knock these all out at some point. Fine. The loop you made? I'd say 3 max. No. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. It'll work. It'll work perfectly. People will walk far for them. Well, now they can ride far on the metro. Okay, there. This is the big old loop. I mean, that's not that big. I wouldn't say
So good at games.
Yeah, the best. I wouldn't even say this is that big of a loop. Okay, there we go. Complete line. And then we want one that will connect us onto this line. And this is definitely how train lines work, so it's fine. And then can we just... Yeah, they just go in there and then go out. I'm just the best. There is no question. That's right. Thank you, Marvin, for believing in me. Let's do a little connection there as well. And we'll have a little one. No. Oh, there we go. I don't know if you're supposed to be able to do that. I don't know if that's like not supposed to work or just flat out doesn't work. Like having the third line on there, but wow, it's pretty far away to that next one. You know what? Come on, let me in. Oh, actually, I guess I could just do that here. It's fine. Complete line. Boom. Look at all those lines. 4,000 people a week. 600 tourists a week. I think they're working just fine. Thank you very much. They could probably be way better, let's be honest. Wait, we do have taxis. 5 people use them. Wow. Well, like 6 people use the ferry. Amazing. I mean, when the metro is this good, why would you go ride the Pooh River? Should we actually put in some commercial now? I think we've actually gotten rid of a lot of the abandoned buildings. I don't remember which one it was. Oh yeah, we're down to 12. That was like 67 or something when we started. So whatever we're doing is working for the abandoned building scenario anyway. Excuse me. Is anything happening here? 120 visitors? Yeah. Alright, well, I think that is where we're going to have to wrap it up for this stream. We are at the end of the stream. We made it. We did it, everyone. 4% of your people take the metro. Yeah, the rest of them drive, which is why we have situations like this. I mean, I don't even know what a good percentage is. But, you know, I think it's working fine. 4,000, it's fine. It's fine. Is anyone taking the helicopter rides? That's what I want to know. No, not the fire one, the other one. The normal one. Wait. Why is it not showing there? It shows up here. See? Pretty sure that's it. Does that count as just aircraft? Oh yeah, it does. Okay. 43 people a week. 328 tourists per week. That's alright. That's alright. Yeah, that's fine. Yep, it's late. Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. Let's give it a save. That traffic can be fixed by changing the arrows manually. Try to avoid multi-directional lanes. What you mean by like making a whole bunch of one-way roads? I mean, that would take more than... I feel like that would take more than an entire stream just to fix all of this. And the fact of the matter is, as well, from what I hear from everyone that plays City Skylines, is that it doesn't really matter what you do. Your traffic's always going to be bad. So I'm just ignoring it. And honestly, 75% traffic flow, although we have these pretty chunked up areas, 75% isn't the end of the world. Like that's still going. It's not grinding the whole city to a halt. There's a few issues with garbage collection here and there, but it's not too bad. There is a bot to change the arrows. Sorry, a mod to change the arrows on a lane. With no mods, traffic will always be bad. Yeah. I mean, it still functions, so I'm pretty happy with it. We've got a few little notifications here and there, but as a whole, I think everything's actually like functioning fairly well. I'm honestly, I'm genuinely, I don't understand what's with the 102. I don't know if it's like bugged or... Because like I said before, I know that there's parts of this that I've obviously not designed well. But generally, eventually you get around it just by brute forcing it. That's just generally the way this game works. Unless you like bankrupt yourself and just fall into oblivion, which isn't going to happen. No, I shouldn't say that, I probably will now. but this time for some reason it's stopping at 102 and then going down to 101 and then up to 102 and down to 101. So I'm not sure exactly what's causing that. But the city's looking pretty swish. It's a chunky boy. Someone told me what the button was for like cinematic camera, and I can't remember what it was. Crips told me and I've forgotten entirely. But we'll figure that out another time when we have to look at it again. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I'm still having fun with that. Like I said though, we are sort of... It feels like we're at the end of sort of what we can do in vanilla, and I don't think I'm feeling like making a whole bunch of new mods, or like putting a whole bunch of new mods just to expand it. So it's very possible that we'll get to the end of this relatively soon. I'm thinking, as I mentioned earlier in the stream, I'm thinking that we do the 9 tiles, and then we call it done, because it's looking pretty good and I'm liking it. And there's a few other games coming up of a similar nature that I wouldn't mind being able to have a crack at. We've got things like Parkitect. We've got what's it called? Like a few games I saw at PAX. One of them is Fantasy Town Regional Manager, which is almost like Tiny Towns, I think, like a board game, if you've ever played that. It's like a turn-based sort of casual city management thing, and it's pretty interesting. Like little village sort of thing. And then there's another one, Fertile Crescent, I think it's called, which is like a pixel art, like a really nice pixel art version of Age of Empires, but your main focus is actually on the farming, which is great because anyone that's seen me play Age of Empires before, that's like my favorite part. I just spam the map in farms and just chill. So I'm really looking forward to playing that. I think there's one or two other things as well. So it's not going to be the end of the world if we have to wrap up the City Skylines one, and maybe we'll pick it up again another time. We'll just see how things go. It does look pretty neat and real. True. You are an artist, not an engineer. How dare you? I am both. Yeah, no, I'm definitely not an engineer. Otherwise, that city might actually function properly. But, I mean, on most metrics that the game gives you, we're like 75% plus efficiency. That's like, that's oh, furiously Googles. How much is 75%? How much is 75% grade? That's a B plus. Depending, I guess, on your grading system, but Google is telling me 75% to 79%, B plus. Look, it's not an A, but it's not an F, so pretty happy with that. But yeah, like I said, I got a few other things on the horizon that I wouldn't mind taking a look at. They'll probably be smaller things than this was, so we'll have to really see what fits the slot and the niche, because I think we'll get maybe a couple streams out of a bunch of those and potentially not much more. We'll have to see what happens. But I'm excited to see how a few different things go, because I'm loving City Skylines, but yeah, I think we're hitting the cap of what we can do, short of modding the arse out of it, which I don't want to do really. But for upcoming streams, for schedule, especially if you guys are new to the stream, I'm a variety streamer. Almost forgot that word somehow. I do different things on different days. Today was my Tuesday City Skylines stream, which it's basically like town building Tuesday, pretty much. We chuck in some different things every now and then, but City Skylines has been our staple for several weeks now. Wednesday, we will be doing... My brain will turn on in a second, we'll figure it out. The co-stream with Lee, with Legion Gaming. We're doing Dead Space 3. We did that last time for Spook Month, and that was pretty fun. So we're going to keep doing that. I don't think there's really anyone watching it, but yeah, it's fun. Excuse me. And then Thursday, back in Cyberpunk 2077. Hopefully a lot less heavier on the dialogue, because my goodness, last time it was just nothing but dialogue and exposition. Then Friday we've got the co-stream with Air Nukes, another streamer. We're doing It Takes Two until we finish that, so that's always fun. Nothing over the weekend as usual, and then back on Monday with some more Skyrim. Hopefully making our boy actually hit with something more than a paper mache hammer, because at the moment we're comfy sweet. Civ 6 on Marathon and Avoid Combat should fill loads of streams. Well, this is the thing, there's games like, I actually prefer Civ 5 over Civ 6, which for some people is a hot take. I feel like it's not. I feel like Civ 5 was way better, but I'm also an old man, so, you know, people like... But we're not starting that discussion now anyway. Endless Space 2, another one that I love. You know, even like Age of Empires and stuff like that. But mainly like a few of these turn-based strategies. You know, games that I love to play, but I don't... There's not really that many people out there watching them when I have streamed them. Like, I've streamed Age of Empires... Not Age of... Well, I have streamed Age of Empires. I've streamed, like, Civ 5 before. And I don't really like... Other than something like this, which is a city builder, which is a big old commitment over, you know, numbers of streams, that's a given. I don't like stretching one single, like, turn-based strategy game over, like, a whole bunch of streams. I prefer to be able to finish it in one. Yeah. So there's a few reasons. Because, yeah, otherwise I do like those sorts of games, just, not for stream. It goes in that Venn diagram of games that I was mentioning at the start of the stream. Games that I love to play, but just don't necessarily gel with the stream as much. Remember 50 Shades of Grey? Good times? Civ 6 did not really improve much. That's true. As far as I know. Oh, that's what that means, isn't it? Yeah, I see. I feel like... And, again, I don't want to start this debate, even though I'm pretty sure it sounds like you might be on a similar page as me, but I feel like, personally, a bunch of people are like, oh, Civ 6 wasn't great at release, but with each new expansion it got better and better and better, and now it's really good and it's way better than 5. I honestly think the opposite. I think the first one came out, patches, yes, they definitely improved a bunch of things with patches. I feel like the DLC actually made it worse, because it added a whole bunch of extra complication and convolution that people essentially mistook for intrigue and you know, complexity and stuff like that, when really it's just like a whole bunch of extra stupid busy work that it's like it's reverse quality of life stuff, in my opinion, because it just makes the game so much more annoying to play. It doesn't enhance the game. But I mean, yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of the original anyway. And not for the reasons that a lot of people whinged about when it released, with the, you know, different aesthetics and stuff. I just don't think the gameplay is as good as Civ 5 was. And I feel like especially when with like the win conditions and tracking the win conditions and knowing where you are and how to win and stuff like that is so inconsistent. I could be like, oh, you're about to win in like 2 turns. You just need 50 extra tourism or whatever. And then you'll get that. Like, it won't even be like, oh, people changed different things and it pushed yours back. Like, you'll go over that limit and then you won't win, and then you won't win, and then you won't win, and then somebody else will win. when you've already won like 5 turns ago. I don't know, the game annoyed me. I had fun playing it at certain points, and especially playing against the AI who just basically cheat half the time, especially in the extra expansions, but man. It was more of a way of venting my irritation over how long Marathon takes rather than an actual suggestion. I've been playing the same campaign for 40 hours now. Yeah, fair enough. No, I just get really frustrated with that game, and like the loyalty system that they added in I think it was just in like the second one, whatever the first DLC was, I think. Just made it infuriating to play. Because you do everything that it said, and then you just lose your city to the person next to you. Especially if they were that French chick that was like, just like way better with loyalty, because that's just her thing. And then of course the newer ones, like Simon Bolivar and stuff, who can just walk through your cities and knock them down like that. Like, it's just really, it's horrendously balanced, even with all the patches and updates and stuff they've done. Every time they bring out something new, it makes it worse balanced, because they're like, oh, we want you to buy the new one and play with the new stuff, so we're going to make it overpowered. And it's just progressively more and more unbalanced and frustrating. Anyway, I said I wouldn't get into it, and I've already gotten into it. So, we're going to set up a raid, and we are going to then go to bed. Oh, bloody Drongo is playing some GeoGuessr. Looks like he's doing some, he's on the couch with a couple people, so that'd be nice. Let's set up that raid. I don't think there's really any of us left. Pretty sure it's just you and I, and Doctor. I don't know, there's 1 or 2 other people. So let's go over and give some love to Drongo. I saw him at PAX, got to say hi, got to take some photos with him and stuff. He's absolutely lovely dude. Just as nice as he is on stream, if not nicer. It was wonderful to see him. So yeah, let's go and share some love and get some biddies for the raid. And yeah, sorry for setting you off. Have a good one. Yeah, no, there are some things that like just get to me, and that is one of them. Especially because so many people are like, oh, actually, it's way better. You just. And basically they're just like, oh, you're just not as good at games because you don't like it. Like, no, it's just needlessly, like, convoluted. Anyway. Thank you everyone so much for the stream. I'll see you next week for some more City Skylines until we finish this one. And tomorrow for the co-stream with Lee, Legion Gaming, with Dead Space 3. So let's give a rate. See ya.